Our glorious British Isles are made up of over 6,000 islands.
That is absolutely stunning.
Some, nothing more than rocks in the sea. But 267 are places that people call home.
It's so remote, isn't it?
These magical isles are on our doorstep, and yet too often we overlook them and the people who live there.
May I ask, Gladys, if not being rude, how old you are?
I'm Alison Steadman, an actress and a city girl, really. Liverpool and then London. When I was a child, my parents used to take me on holiday to the Isle of Man, where my fantasy of idyllic island life began.
To have that view. This is my favourite bit.
It's time for me to celebrate the wild, remote beauty that's right under our noses. I'll be visiting some of these hidden jewels to discover what island life is really like.
OK, I'm going to have one more sip.
This is a great way of life. It's hard, but it's great.
I'm having a few adventures.
This time, I'm travelling to some of the windswept and rugged Scottish Inner Hebrides, where I'll spend a week visiting Gigha, Jura, Colonsay and Oronsay, meeting the resourceful natives that live there.
You have to have loads of fingers and loads of pies.
And exploring these breathtakingly beautiful islands that each have their own distinct personality.
It's like the waves are chasing you and they're saying, I'm going to get you.
I'm starting my journey on the west coast of Scotland, in the little town of Tayenlone on the mainland. From here, it's just a 20-minute hop on the ferry to Gigha, the most southerly and one of the smallest inhabited islands. It's the height of summer, and the average temperature is meant to be a pleasant 14 degrees.
Here is also known as God's Island and is meant to be really balmy. Actually, it is so cold and windy, it's absolutely freezing.
At just 10 kilometres long and 2.5 kilometres wide, Gigha has a tiny population of only 160 people. The town of Ardmenish is near the ferry port and is home to the only shop, hotel and church on the island. In prime position, there's also a community centre that regularly brings together the tight-knit residents. Gigha is one of the few Scottish islands that's owned and run by the people who live here. In 2002, frustrated by years of constantly changing ownership, the community clubbed together and, using grants, bought Gigha from a private landlord for £4 million. A year later, they had to pay back a loan of £1 million. So they sold the island's grand baronial mansion, Acamore House. Built in the late 19th century, the 12-bedroom house is set in a 50-acre garden. In 2003, American businessman Don Dennis spotted in a Sunday paper that Acamore House was for sale and snapped it up.